He's a protector of nature and he speaks for the trees. Today we're drawing the Lorax. That's right, you're going to need a pencil, paper, and black line marker. And then today for colors we'll be using yellow, orange, blue, green, and red. Alright art class, let's draw for the trees. Good morning and happy Wednesday. Today we're drawing the Lorax. A Lorax is going to be in the middle of our paper. We're going to start with his head and work down creating the body. And we're actually even going to put in a couple Lorax trees. First thing that we're going to do is create a circle towards the top of our paper. And this is going to give us the Lorax's head. We're going to work out a body shape right now before we add any details. So first thing we're going to start with is a circle big enough to hold his mustache and his eyes. And then after you've created a circle that you like, you're going to come down from both sides and create an elongated oval shape. Kind of underlaps your circle. This is going to give us the majority of the Lorax's body. Once we have our body shape, we are going to add our arms and legs. And then we'll go in and put some details on our face. For our arms and legs, we're going to come up to the side of our body right under our head, and one arm I'm going to kind of have an angle line out, kind of curling up at the end. For the other one, we'll start same spot coming out, about the same space, but we're going to have this one facing upward. Same thing, an angle line up, and I'm going to kind of curve it up at the end. Both of these arm lines, I'm going to double them, just tracing thinly, another line close to it. And when I get to the end here, I'm going to add a little half oval for a thumb, and I'm going to curl up into the end to make a finger. Same here, add a little oval for the thumb. And then I'll curl up on this side, creating my fingers. Down at my feet, the Lorax has very small, stubby legs. But we're going to follow the body down, a slight curve on both sides. And then on the inside of this, I'm just going to create an arch. That arch helps me kind of fill out both leg shapes. Then it's going to kind of come across the bottom, making the outer toe pointy. So as I close those off, I made a purposeful effort to make the outer toe a little bit more pointy than the inner toe. And if you just want to draw it pointy, you can do that too. Now I told you we would make our arms, legs, and then we're going to go back up to that face. And this is where we get to have some fun creating the mustache of the Lorax. So if I want you to think about going about halfway down your face area here, in the very middle, we're going to create a dot. That's going to be the Lorax's nose. After you create that dot, we're going to angle up and out on both sides of that dot. And then under where the circle meets, the circle of our head meets our body, we're going to create another line. It's going to be kind of a small arch. Now I'm putting that there because now we're going to make some zigzag lines from this top of our mustache down to the bottom. So I'm just going to go back and forth until I reach the bottom line. They don't have to be the same on each side. Don't have to count them out perfectly. Just making it nice, big and bushy. Once I have it there, I can erase those circle under it. We want our mustache to stick out. And this is the first thing that we're really going to do that gives the Lorax the Lorax a hairy kind of feel. So make sure it's nice and bushy, exaggerated. After that, the next detail I'm going to put into our face, we're going to create our eyes. Our eyes are going to be ovals that sit above our mustache. Going to be pretty well placed, spread apart, so they're on each side of the nose. And inside there, on the top, we're going to make a line going across the top to create an eyelid. And then a half circle coming down from that eyelid. That's where our pupil is going to be. We're going to keep a little white circle in there for reflective highlight. But other than that, we'll shade the rest in. And our Lorax has a face. Our last details on the top of the head, we're going to put some hairs. I have them coming straight up over our eyebrows and our head. Now, we've got our basic shape for our Lorax put together here, but we're going to make them fuzzy. And I'm going to go about making them fuzzy in my inking. So, as I go over his outer body shape, instead of just keeping these long, smooth lines, I'm going to give more zigzags and more wavy lines to them to make our Lorax fuzzy. I'll show you what I mean by that. First, I'm going to ink the top of his head and his eyes. And as I go in, make sure I keep that white space for reflective light. And get all my fun top of the head hairs there. I'm going to keep those wavy lines, but remember I said they don't have to be perfect. So we are just kind of lightly tracing, keeping what I like. But now, as we go into the body and we go to these side lines, I'm going to do the same thing. Be a little bit wavy with them. Notice how that makes them a little bit more hairy. Same thing, going down to his legs. Then I ink his arm, same things. Nice wavy zigzag lines. Give him some texture. Perfect. Now I told you guys I was going to add a couple Lorax trees, so we'll put a line, horizon line behind him here. That line behind them, we know where the ground is. So if I put trees in the background, they'd be closer, they'd be smaller. We're going to put one kind of right next to him. I'm going to have him kind of reach enough to touch it. So up towards this area here where he's touching, I'm going to make a circle. And then I'm going to come down off of that circle, making 2 parallel lines. I have them a little bit wavy, not too wavy though. That's the trunk of my tree. And we're going to make that striped by creating lines across it. Now, in order to make this a tree from the Lorax, we're going to be using zigzag lines, but they're going to all be going in one direction. So, as I curve them down one way, I'm going to follow that curve around the same way. Okay, just letting it happen all the way around until it comes back. I've done this a few times, so I have some practice. Take your time. It doesn't seem like, oh man, you made that look really easy. Well, I've done it a few. So you might want to make a couple trees yourself. I've got my tree, I've got my Lorax. I think it's time to color. Here we go. Alright guys, we're all done. Usually I tell you guys to make your own background, but I couldn't resist. I love Dr. Seuss books. So, when you guys are done, make sure you sign your work. I'm super proud of all the hard work you guys put in every day in art class, and you should be too. Alright class, we're all done drawing the Lorax. I had a great time drawing with you today, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow for more art class. Until then, be kind and creative, and have an amazing day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.